Welcome.
All right.
Welcome to Pioneering to Empower and the Kelly and Kelly Crypto Show. We are the history in the making right now on fertile grounds with Kelly B out in North Carolina, Turtle Island. Hello there, Kelly.
Hey, Kellyanne, and hey, everyone. Aloha.
And I am Kellyanne from northern New Mexico as we recognize what is really up and out there and the disruption created on the outside looking into the crypto technology and cryptocurrency. Your prolific knowledge about this peer-to-peer dimensional economy on a distributed public ledger is priceless, and you are priceless too. Bitcoin is not just on the fringes anymore. It is becoming mainstream, whether it's miners, payment processors, wallet developer tools, large enterprise blockchain solutions. The reality is simple. Bitcoin and the blockchain are growing up, and the future they are opening to the world is as vast as that unlocked by any of the greatest technologies in history. Learn and earn Bitcoins by signing up with your sponsor at Nexus University. This conversation is sponsored by Nexus, with 2x's an open source, decentralized digital currency with instant transactions. As you can see here, there's a library full of over 70 videos, tutorials, motivational, how to talk to other people, what to do with this business, and how to earn Bitcoins. I'm going to go ahead and send this on over to Kelly B.
Hey, Kelly, that's great. I always like listening to that. There is a lot of stuff out there, and we've had a lot of fun creating it all with you guys. Let me move the screen over to me. All right. So, in preparing what I was going to prepare for you guys today, this is the big Bilderberger week that happens every year that maybe a lot of people don't really know about, surprisingly, and I kind of thought it was pretty Main Street news these days. But anyway, I just want to continue to point out how tremendous the opportunity that we have here, not just on a physical way or a mental way, but a spiritual way as well, because it's no accident that you're here. It's no accident that I'm here and Kellyanne's here and all of you are here. This is not for the faint of heart. It's actually for those of us that are really free at heart. It's actually for those of us that have always felt like maybe something was a little wrong, or that just wasn't right, or this wasn't just right. But I want to lay a little groundwork here, because when you look at Nexus Partners, and we are empowering financial wisdom, and we don't have to know it all or have it all or be it all to be able to plant seeds with people. That's not what it's about. I want to do, let me see, here's the homepage for the Bilderbergers, and their meeting this week starts the 9th. It goes through the 9th through the 11th or something like that. But when I logged in here, it asked me if it could grab my cookies. I don't know of any site that's ever asked me that before. It's like, no. But anyway, so I went to a little bit of the background, which I found interesting when you see who's on the steering committee. And this does change. The Bilderberger is 75 to 150 people. I've heard it's close to 300 people. But anyway, very interesting. Deutsche Bank is right on the top there this year. We've got Chrysler in here. We've got Leiden University on here. Some other name of companies, Airbus, that you guys might recognize, other groups that maybe you recognize, Capital Partners. Anyway, find it very interesting that these guys are meeting up. Oh, and the advisory board. Look who's in on the. Look who the advisory board or the advisory group is. It's David Rockefeller. The advisory group is David Rockefeller. Are you kidding me? And if people, that's what, when people come up to you and say, who are you voting for this year? And say, do you know who David Rockefeller is? I mean, anyway, I'm not going to go into it, but I mean, we are just so uneducated. We have been just so blindsided. So I want to make the point that if you're here today, you're not blindsided anymore, but you do have a responsibility. we can, I've termed now that there's three groups of people. There's still the zombies, and they're the people walking around the sheep that don't have any clue what's going on. They got their paycheck Friday and they had a little bit of money left over to have a good time on the weekend. And I'm minimizing that. You know, I know that people have tremendous lives. They're doing all kind of things, even as the zombies. They're doing incredible work and all that kind of stuff. And then there's truthers. And the truthers, man, they love all this truth they're learning. They want to share it day in and day out. They want to share the latest thing that's come out. They want to re-educate you on the history of the Federal Reserve over and over and over and over and over again. But they will never take any action. You talk to them about cryptocurrency, and they cannot see that one of the best things that they could do would be get out of the money system, to stop supporting the money system and, you know, do other things. If you feel comfortable, you know, exercising your rights, your born rights, then get out there and do it. If you are still wanting to be a 14th Amendment citizen where you have given up your rights and you have received privileges which can be taken away from you and will be taken away from you if you're in that system, then stay there and do that. But to me, the best way that anybody can really truly step out and be an be active and actually help be a big part of the change that we want to see is by doing exactly what we need to do. And one of the biggest ones is be your own bank. Don't participate in their bank anymore. So that's a big one. If you look through this Bilderberger meeting website, I encourage you to do so. I know Jeff Berg and Max Kaiser are getting together today. They're going to be talking about Bitcoin in a big way. Cryptocurrency is really taking a lot of, I can just energetically feel the steam and engine energy behind the roaring that's going up under the Main Street really starting to catch on. And, you know, with the price of Bitcoin going up again, getting ready for its July 18th halving again, I know is really important, along with some other things as well. But anyway, realize that there's nothing but, it's like Carlton says, he says, this is nothing, this builder group, these people that control it, it's the big boys group, and it's a big boys club, and you're not a member. Once we get that through our head, we're not a member of this big boys club. They don't have, I wanted to, let me see, brief history. I didn't want to go there. If it's not on this page, I won't go through it. But it was talking about what they were actually going to be discussing, what they discussed last year. They don't give this details of what they discussed this year. They talked about what they discussed last year. But anyway, you guys can go look it up. Here it is. Just cyber security, the Middle East, NATO, Russia, you know, whatever, right? Terrorism, whatever. So we definitely have a seat here at the table that we should not take lightly. This is not just about going out and seeing who you can talk to, really. When it reaches you on a level of the bigger picture of what you're doing, then nothing will stop you from talking and not being afraid of what comes out of your mouth. Just letting it come out. So with that being said, let me just move on to a couple things. I just want to remind everybody what I've been talking about here. It's in every aspect of your life. We've talked about this little picture here before. It's in the foods, it's in the air and water, it's in the weather, it's in the news, it's in the tax, it's in natural resources, your civil rights, which you have born rights. It's in your health. You know, it's everywhere, and every aspect of our being they have controlled. And find one of these or all 9 of these plus the monetary system and decide what it is that you don't want to be a part of anymore. You know, if it's growing your own food, exposing the biochemical warfare that's in our skies and in our waters, you know, if it's in the fluoride in your water, which fluoride is rat poison, period, at any level whatsoever. You know, news, people getting their news off of Fox News, if they're still plugged into that programming box, they don't get it yet. They honestly don't get it yet. You know, taxation is theft. Um, the money system's a fraud. The pharmaceutical industry is a corporation that makes billions and billions to keep you sick. It's a chemical. Natural remedies are out there. Natural resources are out there. Our born rights need to be stood upon and stood in. So anyway, just wanted to remind you of that. And also, I love this. Notice to all people, the Federal Reserve issues fraudulent currency. Our money is a scam that equals debt slavery. You know, the textbooks, governments, and the news media have been protecting this lie for over 100 years. Search Federal Reserve money scam on YouTube. Do you want to be a part of a scam, or do you want to be a part of a solution? You can't be half pregnant. There's no halfway. You can be halfway on this side or halfway on that. You know, you do have to cross the bridge, and sometimes that gets mixed a little, like we're doing now, those of us trying to get, you know, situated buying things in cryptocurrency and that kind of thing. But for the most part, as long as you're not trying to go out there and, you know, support that money scam, and, you know, be a solution if you want to be. If you don't, and this doesn't bother you, maybe this isn't the table for you to be at. It's kind of that simple, you know. But the money backs everything. The money is all about everything that's been enslaving us. Every gun that is made, every warship launched, every rocket fired signifies, in the final sense of theft, from those who hunger and are not fed, those who are cold and not clothed. Dwight D. Eisenhower, who got suckered into the deal. But anyway, from what I hear, he didn't actually tell me that himself that I remember. But this is what I want you to see, that when we show people the pathway to a currency solution, we can stop hunger, and we can stop homelessness, and we can stop these wars. It's a much bigger picture than what did I earn this week. You know, how many did I bring in the business? I mean, that's the forefront of it. That's the little bitty picture, and that's very important, because that's exactly what we want to do. But when you do that, then the big things happen, and you are a part of that. You help make that happen in no minor way, because it takes steps. Every little step matters. It takes baby steps. You have to climb. You really should climb a ladder one step at a time, right? Or take a step at a time, right? Maybe skip over a step, but those steps are really important to get you to the top. So everything that you do, even in the tiniest way here at Nexus Partners, means something, because in the whole big illusion of it all, the whole big universal aspect and the reality of it all, we're helping that. We're helping in that imprint to change the world for a better place. And I believe we are at the very core of that, and that's bringing down the money system with our money solution. Everybody's worried about stopping terrorism. Well, there's really an easy way. Stop participating in it. Bottom line, that's the way I feel. If you don't like war, you know, expose it. For what it is, learn about it. Does it really make sense that you can travel all over the world, but we can go blow up anybody and everybody that we want to steal their resources and kill the people, you know, and depopulate wherever we choose to? It's just not, you know, it makes common sense to me. Now, 10 years ago, I wasn't getting it either. So if you're not fully getting it, that's okay. Just go do your own research some more. That's what it takes, is to say, you know, I'm going to go out there and learn a little bit more of this. This interests me. Because what it boils down to, guys, is every system that we've ever believed in is a lie. Every system we've ever believed in is a lie. And that might be hard for some to swallow, but you got to expose what's out there in order to be able to know how to talk about why you're even ushering something good in. The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read or write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. Okay? We are unlearning and relearning what we need to. You're going to meet people that are learned, and they think they are learned up good. They think they're the smartest ones in the world. They've got a PhD and everything, whatever, and they've been schooled for 20, 30 years, and they know it all. They learned it in a university, and they've studied themselves. They're well-rounded. They're well-traveled. They're learned to death. They may have to come to a realization they've got to unlearn themselves. You know, you can talk, you can go around and somebody that you have total respect for and is very learned in a university, say, you might be the smartest one in the room coming forward showing them cryptocurrency and Nexus Partners and what Nexus University and Nexus Rewards is going to be doing to change the world, and you're going to relearn this because nobody ever learns everything. And that's one thing we all have to realize, is that we'll never learn everything. We're always learning. So don't be afraid to go show what your new knowledge is. If you really believe in your new knowledge, you will have no problem at all. He who passively accepts evil is as much involved in it as he who helps to perpetrate it. He who accepts evil without protesting against it is really cooperating in it. I feel really large about this. That's why I don't mind speaking out about it. You know, I don't mind going out there talking about the fact that you know, war is evil, and all these restrictions and rules and all this enslavement that they've done to us all over the planet to keep us enslaved, all these statutes and codes. I'm going to speak out about it because it's not right. We were not born here. We're unique souls, and we are meant for so much more than what we're doing here. And the higher vibration will usher that in for you and your higher self, and you'll feel that as more and more as you start seeing these systems break down around you, as you're not using them anymore, and protecting yourself with your higher self. And that's really all it takes. And the more you stand in that space, the more that you watch the systems come down around you. Paper money has had the effect in your state that it will ever have, to ruin commerce, oppress the honest, and open the door to every species of fraud and injustice. It has paid off everyone. It is our court systems, the judicial, the bar association, the banks, the corporations, the medical industry. It's in all of it. It is gotten in people's back pocket because people thought paper had some value behind it. The only sort, you know, that's the injustice and fraud. I mean, it's been so, it's the root of everything. It's the root of all evil. We do have a solution that's different. People will say, what are you doing that's different, Kelly? Well, we're taking out that third-party entity, and people can choose what they want to do with their currency and how they want it to bring value to them and where they want to bring value to. So we're taking back our choice. We're going to be living in our right, our born right. That's what we're doing. That's why cryptocurrency and decentralization of anything is the practice of your rights, your born rights. No one rules if no one obeys. We just have to learn to stand down. We have to learn to stand up. We have to. Why does this matter with Nexus and all? Well, you're gonna meet people along the way that are gonna come right back at you and say, look, if I've got to register my car, you're gonna register. You know, you need to too, or whatever. You know, if I've got to pay real estate taxes, then you should too. Well, whoever, show me the law. Show me the law that says I have to pay them. That has been challenged over and over and over when it comes to the income tax. Show me the law that says I have to pay income tax. There is no law. I am not afraid. I was born to do this. When you finally get your armor, I think there's a place between truther and activist where you finally get that armor and you put it on and you're not afraid, and you see the game that's being played out there on the stage, and you'll realize that you were born to do this. This is what I came here for. I came here to awaken and to show people the way. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're showing people the way, and really we're showing people a way in such an easy way. I mean, what's been put together here for us at Nexus Partners, to me, is incredible, because you don't have to go out and educate anybody. You can say, look, here for $75, here's the whole shebang. Here's everything that you need to get a good grounding in the crypto industry. I want to hear from you after you finish it. Their light bulbs will be turned on. It's easier to fool people than to convince them they have been fooled. Oh my gosh, Mark Twain, you are so right. You cannot convince, you can plant seeds. That's all you can do. Remember that. You don't want to get in any debate with anybody really, unless you like those kind of things. But it is so much easier to fool the people, and we have been fooled. Each and every single one of us has been fooled. Go unfool someone today. Go unfool someone, right? End it. Shine a light on slavery. That is exactly what we're all doing. We have been on the plantation. Do you want to stay on the plantation, or do you want to leave the plantation? You can go look that up on YouTube. The girl from the IRS, she states just that, and she does it so beautifully. But we end it by becoming activists. We end it by being truthers and activists and speaking out and sharing the truth and being prepared and being educated and learning all we can each and every day, and loving what we do, because it's not going to be long before that train wreck happens, and we're standing in all of our knowledge and light and glory, and realizing that just because you stood firm and you stood proud and you believed in yourself, your reward is going to be huge. Sometimes you face difficulties not because you're doing something wrong, but because you're doing something right. This one so resonated with me. The last 5 years have not been really easy for me. There's been some difficulties. I've embraced each and every one. Sometimes venting a little bit before doing that, but realizing that the beauty of it all, and that I would have never experienced that had that not happened to me. And I would not be where I am right now had I not experienced a lot of the difficulties that I have. So I'm so thankful for them, because I don't want to be anywhere else. I want to be right here around all of you wonderful people that see the same thing that I do. Anybody, I mean, get positioned right here where you are. If you're on this call and you have not taken the courses yet, make that your mission to do so. You're missing so much. Your eyes will be awakened. They really, really will, and your brain and your heart. And also, you know, if you're new here to the call and you don't have anything what I'm talking about, you have no clue what I'm talking about, please go back to the one that invited you and get some guidance for them, or three-way me or Kellyanne on a call. We'll be glad to talk to this stuff. This is an elephant in the room, okay? And the money is the elephant. And there's all aspects of the elephant that people can choose to participate in, like the first slide that I showed you. Maybe the trunk is the GMO. So not everybody's going to want to embrace the whole elephant, but money does affect everyone. So we're giving them a way to get out of the enslavement into a good solution, the real solution. Being considered crazy by those who are still victims of cultural condition is a compliment. Being considered crazy by those who are still victims of cultural conditioning is a compliment. Thank you very much. I love being crazy. You never change something by fighting the existing reality. You change something by building a new model that makes the existing model obsolete. That's exactly what we're doing. That's exactly what we've done here with Nexus, and are doing, and will continue to do as we capitalize on the Main Street adoption of cryptocurrency. Guys, it's so huge. It's so huge where we're positioned. I want to repeat this before I send it on over to Kelly, but I shared a couple of weeks ago an article that I read from LinkedIn, and just one little paragraph in the article, I never finished it, but it was on page 8, I believe, and it basically said the big companies like the Amazons and the Netflix and the I forget the other one, who may always win so big in their industries because they always see the new technology that is coming, and they find a way to bring it to the people for easeability. They capitalize on the Main Street adoption of that technology. Exactly what we're doing here. So over to you, Kelly.
Yeah, great. I feel like I just went to church because I really needed this today, so thanks so much. I think, well, I know, as I've always said, there's no concept of ownership because they don't want you to know what that is. So first of all, that's the general rule, is that they don't want you to know that you can they make you think you own when you don't. That's the whole fool's joke right there. So we don't have a concept truly of ownership. We really don't. But here in the cryptocurrency space and at Nexus University, we are learning what ownership really is. And we're learning to embrace that, and it changes. I guess the best way I can describe it, what Kelly's just mentioning here, is that when you actually go and do it versus just talking about it, your life will change. You will feel very different. It will not be the same, and you can never go back. We're buying back the entire planet for the people on this planet. That's a big job, and you know what? It's really, really easy to do. So I love all the comments we have here. We have Jeff Schreiber. Hey there, Jeff. Jeff just got back from a big, huge concert just over the weekend. I was noticing on Facebook. He says cartel all the way. And he also suggests Alvin Toffler was a true visionary. Read his book, Future Shock. So thank you, Jeff, for your comments. And great time. I needed to hear all that today. Thank you, Kelly.
Awesome. Okay, so any more comments, or we'll just wrap this up for today?
We don't have any more questions. Get the word out that we do have a new link just right before the show. We had some technical difficulties with the last one. So Kelly had to change that at the last minute. So we'll get this recording out to everyone as soon as possible today, June 6th on Monday.
And there you go. Well, thanks, Kellyanne. And
go out there and get your referrals. Get to that.
There you go. Thanks, everybody, for being here. We will
Seize the day.
Yes, and look, guys, don't miss this afternoon because Michael Bailey's coming on, and he's going to be talking wallets. So come on the show this afternoon at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're all about wallets this afternoon, and we'll see you back. Have a great afternoon, everyone, and we'll see you back in, I don't know, 6 hours. No, 5.5. Love to you all. Bye-bye.